And this is one of my biggest pet peeves with all of these different nutrition groups on Facebook, is that whenever somebody has a problem, people will just give blanket information and they will not ask any follow-up questions. It's just all generic information that is not useful whatsoever. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another Sunday Q&A. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be answering the question, why do I have low energy on the carnivore diet? And this question, it was posed in the Carnivore Diet for Beginners group, and this was one of the posts that was made. It was by this woman, and she said, any supplements to increase my energy? I'm doing carnivore, I cut dairy except butter, grass-fed. I'm working out but have little energy. I have been researching, but everything has sucralose, 1 gram or 2 gram carbs, and other suspicious ingredients. I do 23-1 carnivore, help. And then if you were to look at the actual comment section and all the replies, all it is just very generic information. Nobody has asked any follow-up questions to see why exactly her energy levels might be so low. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves with all of these different nutrition groups on Facebook, is that whenever somebody has a problem, people will just give blanket information and they will not ask any follow-up questions. It's just all generic information that is not useful whatsoever. So I ended up asking some follow-up questions because there are a number of reasons why your energy levels are going to be low. So I asked, how much do you weigh? How much are you eating? And how active are you? To which she replied, working out 5 to 6 times weekly. I weigh 158. I'm 5'1". I'm eating 1 meal a day, about 2 to 3 eggs, and a nice piece of steak. I get full quickly. Today I cooked with butter instead of oil. I cut dairy because I wasn't losing. And that still wasn't enough information for me to really have anything to go off of, so I wanted her to elaborate. So I asked, what cut of steak and how big is it? To which she replied, today was skirt steak, about 8 to 10 ounces, yesterday ribeye. I also make liver like once a week. I said, that's why you're tired. You're eating way too little. That's only 500 to 650 calories. You should be eating more than double that. Aim for 1,580 calories and adjust it accordingly based off how fast or slow you're losing weight. Anywhere from 0.5 to 1% of your total body weight loss in fat is a good, sustainable goal. And this is one of the things that I have a problem with, is that a lot of people, when they're trying to lose weight, they try to cut their calories way too drastically, and it's not healthy, first of all. And second is, if you try to cut your calories too much, you're not going to be able to sustain that long term. You're going to have low energy. You're going to have your levels of ghrelin are going to be elevated, which is your hunger hormone. When ghrelin's elevated, the chances of you going out on a binge are going to be a lot higher, because ghrelin has been linked to poor decision making, and it's also going to cause you to crave high calorie dense foods. So if you are somebody that has very low energy on the carnivore diet, one of the simple things that you could do is just try eating a little bit more. And again, people just give generic information. You need to try this supplement. You need to try eating more of this food. You need to eat less of this food. Without knowing exactly what someone is doing, there are a number of reasons for low energy. So if you are the type of person that you have low energy, a few things worth noting. Number one, what foods and how much of those foods are you eating? Because if you're not consuming enough calories, you're going to have very, very low energy. This woman is the perfect example. She weighs 158 pounds and she was consuming 500 calories despite the fact that she was working out 5 to 6 days a week. That is a ridiculously low number of calories for somebody to be consuming. Whenever somebody comes to me for fat loss, I generally start them at 10 times their body weight in calories. So for somebody who's 158 pounds, I would start them at 1,580 calories and then adjust it accordingly based off of how fast or how slow they are losing weight. If they're losing weight too rapidly, then I would increase their calories a little bit more. And if they're not losing it fast enough, then I would decrease it. But regardless, if you are not consuming enough calories, you're going to have very, very low levels of energy. The second thing worth looking at is how much water are you drinking, and are you consuming enough electrolytes with that water, adding in things like Himalayan sea salt. Ideally, you should be consuming a minimum of half your body weight in ounces of clean drinking water every single day. And with regard to this, that's a bare minimum, because certain things are going to affect whether you should increase or decrease your water consumption. There are some factors that will dictate whether you need more or less water are going to be environmental factors, geographical factors, and also physical factors. With regard to environmental, if you are living somewhere where it is very, very hot, let's say I live in Canada. Right now it's summertime. So in the summertime, it's going to be a lot warmer. When it's warmer, if you're outside, you're going to be sweating a lot more. So you're going to lose water through the act of perspiration. So you're going to want to consume a little bit more water on the days where it's hot. Whereas in the wintertime, in December, January, February, where it's freezing and I'm not outside, I'm not sweating that much, so I don't need to consume quite as much water. Then there's geographical factors. If you are living closer to the equator, it's going to be warmer year-round. So because it's warmer year-round, your water requirements are going to be a lot higher. Whereas if you're living closer to the poles, where it's very, very cold year-round and you're not really sweating that much, you're not perspiring, then in those types of situations, your water requirements wouldn't be quite as high. Then the other thing would be the physical. Let's say you're the type of person where you do very vigorous activity. If you're constantly training and it's very, very intense and you're sweating a lot, the more you sweat during exercise, the more water you're going to want to incorporate to be able to replenish the water that you lost through the act of perspiration. Aside from that, another thing that you can look at, the third number thing, is going to be how active are you? If you're the type of person where you go to the gym and you're training for 3 hours very intensely every single day, that's going to be too much activity. Unless you are training to be a gold medalist or trying to break some type of world record, if you're just trying to improve your energy, lose a little fat, gain a little bit of muscle, you don't need to be training that long. If you are overtraining, that is going to negatively affect your energy levels. And if you are under training, that is also going to negatively affect your energy levels. So you want to make sure that you are training the proper amount and that you're doing exercises that are right for your body and that are going to energize you. If you find that when you perform a specific exercise, you are completely drained for the rest of the day or even for days on afterward, then that exercise and that program is not right for you. You need to change it up. And another thing that you can look at, number 4, is going to be your sleep patterns. If you're not getting enough sleep, that is another factor that could hinder your energy production. So if you are only getting 2 to 3 hours every single night, of course you're going to have low energy because you're only getting 2 to 3 hours of sleep every single night. Make sure that you are getting an adequate amount of sleep. With regard to sleep, what exactly is an adequate amount? Well, for the average person, 8 hours is going to be a good target. If you are getting less than 6 hours, unless you are in the 3 to 5% of the population that can get away with under 6 hours of sleep, for the vast majority of people, under 6 hours is not going to be optimal. So make sure that you are getting around that 8-hour mark. Again, though, experiment. If you're the type of person where you get 6 hours sleep, you wake up, you have great levels of energy first thing in the morning, you're able to get out of bed, you don't need to hit the snooze button, then keep doing what you're doing. Another thing is going to be your breathing pattern. A lot of people are going to have an inverted breathing pattern, meaning they're going to breathe in the opposite way of how they're supposed to breathe. The way you're supposed to breathe is you want the first 2/3 of the breath coming from the belly, the last third coming from the chest, and then when you exhale, your chest should collapse on the first third, and then your belly should collapse on the last 2/3. Another issue is that a lot of people breathe in 2D and not 3D, meaning they only breathe front to back. When you breathe, you should also have some lateral expansion of the rib cage, and at the very end of the inhale, a little bit of vertical expansion of the shoulders. Now, most people, if you're a shallow breather, then you're not really going to be able to get as much oxygen into your body, and the less oxygen that you consume, the more tired you're going to be and the more problems you're going to have with energy. So if you are the type of person where you're a very shallow breather, practicing diaphragmatic breathing exercises would be a great way to help get a little bit more oxygen into your body and also to improve your energy levels. I actually did a video on diaphragmatic breathing and some exercises last year. I'm going to include a link right up over here to that video, but give those exercises a try if you do have an inverted breathing pattern or if you are a shallow breather. And then lastly, how are your stress levels? If you are the type of person where you are very, very stressed all the time, that is going to negatively impact your energy levels, because when you are chronically stressed, cortisol, that is the hormone that our body secretes when we are under stress. And the thing with regard to stress is we have many different types of stressors. People really only take into consideration mental stress, but we have physical stress, nutritional stress, thermal, electromagnetic. We have environmental stressors, and all of these are going to react the exact same way. From a physiological standpoint, whenever you are under stress, your body is going to secrete the hormone cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. And when cortisol levels are chronically elevated, what's going to happen is your testosterone levels are going to be suppressed. And if you have a suppression of your testosterone levels, that can definitely impact your energy levels, and it could definitely lead to low energy levels. So if you are the type of person where you are very, very chronically stressed, try to do activities that you enjoy. Maybe practice some diaphragmatic breathing. Go to the movies if you enjoy watching movies. You could play some cards. Find an activity that you enjoy and try to dedicate 1 hour every single day to doing something that you enjoy, just to help calm you down and put you into a more parasympathetic state. We have two states, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is our fight or flight system. Parasympathetic is our rest and digest system. So if you are really, really stressed out, you want to do activities that are going to put you in a parasympathetic state, and that is going to be activities that are calming and activities that you enjoy. If you enjoy reading a book, read a book. If you enjoy watching movies, watch a movie. Just do something that you enjoy to help calm your body body down. But those are just 6 things that you could do to help to improve your energy levels. Give those 6 things a try and drop your comment down in the comment section and let me know if it worked for you. Have your energy levels improved? And if they have, that's absolutely terrific. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. So again, go ahead and drop them down. But that's pretty much it for today's video. Go ahead and give those 6 things a try and drop your comments down in the comment section and let me know if you tried it, and if you did, how exactly did it work? Do you have better energy levels? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to continue making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.